Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of AR Mock Battles. Today we are back in Astra Anima season with another 3 volunteers. Honestly, I don't really have that much to say beyond that, so let's just go ahead and get into the battles. Today's first mock battle is going to be against Linen's Astra Anima map. I did challenge their light dark map in a previous episode. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this has on it. Okay, we got a bit of a cav setup. Possibly a rally or restore trap. I'm guessing at least rally with the Ellwood up in that, tucked away in that corner there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. We have a, attack speed push, lunge, goad cavalry, quick impulse, blazing Durandal, rally def res, gale force. Sigurd with HP plus 5, chill attack, joint hone res, chill res, no weapon, dance, and no special. Duma with fury. Bold Fighter, Upheaval, Armored Boots, Fell Breath, no assist to Draconic Aura. Veronica with Attack Speed Push, Wrathful Staff, Goad Cavalry, Attack Speed 2, Hood Skjalf, no assist, interesting, so no restore element, and Miracle. Sigurd with Warning Stance, Wings of Mercy, Hone Cavalry, Drive Attack, no weapon, Dance, no special, and finally the Reinhardt. Looks like this is a threatening variant. It's interesting how in terms of Aether Raids, I've come to see Reinhardt in 2 possible variants, a threatening variant with low attack res and the non-threatening variant without it. Death Blow 4, low attack res, Joint Drive Attack, Hardy Bearing, Dire Thunder, no assist, and Luna. Okay. So there's a rally out trap here, and it looks to me like this is actually very well set up because there's here's the edge of Veronica's range, right? Starting here at the tactics room and then here along this diagonal. There's no way to place a unit in Veronica's range without having Ellwood's range overlap with that. Like you can't tuck somebody behind a building and then Veronica can attack them, but Ellwood can't. So that's very good design right there. You're really good with these abandoned castle setups, aren't you? Okay. I wonder, though, could I do a double bait down here at the bottom with Micaiah Brunia, or Brunia Micaiah, depending on who gets the rally from Ellwood. I believe Brunia can take 1 round of combat from Ellwood. So first off, who gets this rally? It's rally def res. So they would both be equal space from their targets. The question becomes, I don't actually know. Let's see. I know there are some other rules in there, but then I know it eventually gets to a point where they compare visible stat totals outside of HP. So let's just do that, I guess. So you have 56, then you have 53, so you're plus 3, and then you're plus 16, plus 19, and then you're plus 9, and then you're actually down minus 1, so he actually picks up that rally. Oh wait, no, does he? No, that's, dang it. I almost forgot about that. He has Joint Hone Res on the Sigurd here, so actually this should go to Veronica because she gets more total stats buffed. That is also a rule that I forgot existed. Well, actually, it was more like I forgot that this was there. So you get that. It's interesting. So if I stick Brunia here, I guess it'd have to be here, wouldn't it? Because otherwise, if I do this, then when Veronica attacks, well, I guess it depends on who's prioritized, because he has lunge. But if Veronica attacked first, then that would apply penalties to Micaiah, and maybe that's not what I want, especially since she's still minus res. I had to give my most recent batch of trait fruit to Pirate Tip. I wanted to give him plus attack, but unfortunately Micaiah is still stuck at plus speed minus res. She is up next on my priority list. I did draft up I think it was like a 30 unit long priority list. Okay. Of course, very few of those units I actually, towards the later end, I actually use, which would just be nice. Let's see. You have, what is that? You get 6 from him, and then, so 59, 67. Let's just, do you have this? Let's just say let's just say you don't actually. Start this off. I first want to make sure, do you kill Micaiah outright? Because that would be bad. So, and now I've forgotten what number I said it was. 67? I think so. 67. Micaiah has 36 res. If I could get her Divine Fang, that grants her the Joyful Vows bonuses. So, plus, what, 13? So, 49, 46, 46, and 67, was it? So, 21. 2 21s. She lives that, I'm pretty sure. Go away. Let's see. So, 2 21s. 41 damage, so she's going to have 14 HP left over? Am I calculating that right? There's 3 mythics on this team. So, yeah, so minus 7 after Duma brings her to 48. So 2 21s brings her down to, oh no. Where did I get the idea that was going to be 41 damage? 42 damage, sorry, and 6 HP left. Okay, so she definitely destroys him back with the Glimmer. Which means that these two are going to be prioritized. And actually, if Veronica attacks first, then that gives him a Goad Stack and Hlidskjalf and a Joint Trap attack. So I should maybe calculate out to see who goes first here. Actually, it might be the Eliwood. Brunia's defense. Oh, and if I have Plumeria here, I might be able to force that. Because then he just gets Hlidskjalf. Oh, crud. Hold on. If he just gets Hlidskjalf, then his 2 21s become 2 24s. You gotta be kidding me. That exactly KOs her. I'm actually a little upset about that. Okay. I mean, I guess it's a moot point. Wait, does Veronica go first? So you have what? Plus 13? Plus 13 is 69 attack. And then you have... Oh, actually, wait. How much do you deal to Brunia? Well, actually, Brunia has 44 res. Plus 4 from Swift Stance. And then I believe she does take Dark Shrine. So plus 8, 52, 52. And then plus 7 more between Flower of Plenty and Distant Guard on Plumeria. I guess she could be here, or either one of these 2 spaces would work. I've lost my train of thought. 52, did I say 52? Yeah, 52 plus 7 minus 3, or just 52 plus 4. 56. So, yeah, you deal a 13 to her then? Okay. Well, that's fine. And then you have, what is that? That's plus 13 as well, actually. So 74. 74, and you have triangle disadvantage. So that lowers your attack by, I believe, 13. Or minus 13, rather. Or is it 14? No, it's 14. My bad. Okay, so 60. And then you attack Brunia, and your defense... I forget what your defense is. It's plus 8. Actually, I can give her a field buff. I could give her a field buff for the Veronica matchup, too, because neither of them have a low. Okay. So that's less damage from Veronica, and then 60 effective attack on Eliwood minus, what? 34, 38, 41, 19? 19 from the Eliwood? So Eliwood actually is prioritized. So he... Yeah, that throws a wrench in the Micaiah plan, unfortunately. Where otherwise it would not have, because Veronica wouldn't be giving him Goad and Joint Drive. That's annoying. So I guess I need to just bait just Veronica, and then go from there. So what happens here, actually? If I do this, and then you will come down for the rally. You're going to get refreshed by one of the Sigurds. I assume it's this one. Then you're going to attack, lunge. You're going to attack, and then you're going to get refreshed by this Sigurd from here, because this is quote-unquote safer. And then Duma, actually this space is blocked. So Duma can't move here. Duma has to move down here. And then Reinhardt just goes, I don't know, doesn't really matter. Here or here, I think. So, how am I going to... So Eliwood's here. Eliwood's lunged himself into the the depths of my back line. Which would be great if he activated Gale Force. Well, great for him if he'd activated Gale Force. But he doesn't. So, he's dead. Pretty sure. Oh, wow, he only has 30 def. And I have a goat on Micaiah, who's somewhere around here, and plus 6 more attack stack on Plumeria. So plus 10. I'm thinking Altina might be able to take him out. So Altina hits him for, I think her attack stat is what, 51? Yes. She won't get Ashera's Chosen. Unfortunately, she'd have to be adjacent to at least Plumeria. And she hits him 51 plus 10, 61. Yeah, 231s, that kills him even if he didn't get that burn from the attack speed push. That's 1 down. Then I need to deal with the Duma, who is here. I guess Micaiah can just snipe him, or Brunia can take him out. I don't really know. And then that leaves Veronica and Reinhardt. And then I have... I mean, it's easier for Micaiah to just walk up here, I think, because she can't actually reach the Veronica. At least not from here, because she'd have to be... I think this is where she'd have to be, because she can't be adjacent to Brunia. That would be bad. Brunia doesn't get her attack speed solo in that case. And then, yeah, this is the best spot for her to be. I'd have to break this. Okay, I can take a turn to do that, I think. That leaves you and you for some combination of Brunia, Naga, and Plumeria. Which is fine, because once... Oh, she takes what? A 19 from you, and then what did I say that was? A 14 from you once he lunges you out of position. Because it was a... I forget what I said it was, but it's a 14 from you, I think. Okay. It's fine. Let's try that. I think I've spent enough time in the think tank. I have a tendency to do that sometimes, where I'll just spend an overly large amount of time thinking about a map. Let's see. You're fine here, I believe. And I can do this and move you, and then break that, and then do this. Hit end turn. And then next turn, I can do this. That will get Micaiah in range for the Divine Fang bonus.
As you say.
You tie an attack with Brunia, I just noticed. Interesting. Anyway, give her field buffs. Move her here, or here. This doesn't really matter. Then hit end turn. So I should see the rally out from Eliwood. Then I refresh, yes, from that upper Sigurd, just as I expected. A 19, also as expected. Then you come down for the 14, that's fine. And then a refresh. And now you deal 3 more damage. Okay, whatever. That's fine. That's also fine. What is the situation here?
Yes.
So you one-shot the Veronica. That's good. You take a lot of damage from that Reinhardt. Hello. Okay. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and start with this.
You have my trust.
So this is basically forced because you're the only one who can reach. Sorry, he is the only one you can reach. Similar story for Micaiah versus Duma. Then,
by your will,
can I do this to charge up the soul and then refresh to
as you say,
take out the Reinhardt? Does she get enough healing off of that? She loses her solo by being adjacent to Plumeria, but I think she gains that attack back. She doesn't need the speed to double the Reinhardt.
I'll
and then
do
she
it.
also gets 7 res.
Yes.
And actually, if she refreshes, then the 2 closest units are you 2. So that applies penalties to Reinhardt. So your attack goes down to, I can math, 55. Well, not really. 59 still from the joint drive. 59.
By your will.
Why am I bothering to try and see what the number is when I can just subtract 4 from this? Or subtract 11 from this, even. Oh, well, actually, yeah, that's fine. If she still heals at 16, that's okay. Sweet. Let's do this. Oh, I did that wrong. I was supposed to attack from here. Oh, well. It's still... Well, wait. That reduces damage by 17. I must have counted something very incorrectly, but oh well.
What is your desire?
Let's go ahead and have Naga hit the Sigurd, and then I'll finish it up on the next couple turns. So let's take a look-see here. How do I want to do this? I guess I can just reposition you, and if that's real, so whatever. And then
Close
do
your
this.
eyes.
As you say.
Yes.
And next turn I'll just pick that up and finish off the job with
Consider
Micaiah or
it
something.
done.
So, go ahead and just tap that away real quick. Take out the fountain, take out the Sigurd, and that is it. Okay. That was a difficult map. I really like that. Where did you go? I think you were up here somewhere. There you go. So yeah, I really like this setup. I especially like your positioning on the rally trap, making sure that you can't bait Veronica without also getting Eliwood. It's a bit of a package deal. Yeah, that's really not a whole lot I have to discuss for this, so thank you very much for sharing, and let's go ahead and move on to map number 2. The second mock battle is going to be against Boa Ferox's Astra Anima setup. I did face their light dark setup a while back, don't remember exactly when that was. So, looks like we've got an infantry pulse team. I do note that all of the infantry units are within pulse smoke range of the Seleth, but let's see what this has to offer. We have a Thesir with Fury, Killing Intent. I know, I swear I know what that's called. Panic Smoke, Deathblow, E-Finger, Drawback, Luna. Ophelia with Life and Death, Wings of Mercy, Infantry Pulse, Hardy Bearing, Mistletoe, Rally Up Attack Plus, Blazing Wind. Mirabilis with Fort Def Res, Wings of Mercy, Ground Orders, Aerobatics, Flower of Ease, Whimsical Dream, Escutcheon. Seliph with Distant Counter, Vantage, Infantry Pulse, Quick Riposte, Tearfing, Swap, and Vengeance. Tethys with Fort Def Res, Chill Speed, Infantry Pulse, Quicken Pulse, Tamari, Dance, and Iceberg. Do you get that? I don't think you get that turn 1, but you get that after something attacks you, I guess. I'm talking about the Iceberg, because the only one who infantry pulses you is Seliph. And then finally Kagera with Sturdy Impact, Poison Strike, Times Pulse, Swift Sparrow, Kagero's Dart, No Assist, and Dragon Fang. Okay, that's pretty standard. Let's see. I'm wondering if I just deploy Brunia again. She should be able to fight the Seliph. The unfortunate thing is, I don't know if she can take him down in a single round of combat. That would have to be quite the hit. Although, I do have Micaiah on this team, and that she's literally just there to provide extra oomph in case Brunia needs it. Well, and of course to pick off armor and cavalry units in case I need them to engage a cav line. Well, I mean, obviously the armor portion isn't important there, but she's also good for that. On other maps with armors, obviously. Okay, I wonder... So let's see. First off, who takes this? Tethys. Tethys or Mirabilis? Yep, Tethys. Okay, definitely Tethys. This doesn't really matter, since Micaiah's penalties override those ones anyway. Brunia's at 68 HP, which I believe is unaffected by any levels of heavy trap that you can currently obtain. So I could apply dominance here with Brunya here, smite with Naga, attack Seliph. Of course, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but not that much. Just because I need to make sure she can actually 2HKO him with that. I'm fairly certain she can. She has what? 60 attack at base, plus 10, because she gets Fimbulvator off of, I believe, either of these. So 70. 70, that's between Fimbulvator and attack speed solo. Times 1.2 per triangle advantage, that's what, 84? Yeah, 84. Subtract out Selif's, no distant guard here. So let's just say minus 29. Yeah, that's 55 damage before dominance. So that shouldn't be an issue at all. Does she even, like, if I can get Plumeria here, does she need that? What did I say her attack was? 70. 70 plus, let's just say I also get, well, here's an interesting thing. I might want to just do the dominance business and then refresh Brunya afterward to get penalties onto these two, just to minimize damage and help her land doubles, even though I don't think she really needs that. Worth thinking about, actually, but first I want to see if plus, what is that? Plus 9 would allow her to 2 HKO the Seliph without the dominance effect. 94 effective, subtract 29, 65. Actually, it would. That's interesting. Okay, well, let's give this a try. Okay, so let's see here. I believe it was this. Is this it? Is this what I'm doing? I don't know. Could I do that? Basically, I need to get. I think I can actually, under that scheme, I can do turn 1 initiation. Is that okay? Actually, turn 1 initiation is not necessarily good against infantry pulse teams. I'm picking off the Seliph though, so I don't know, because that reduces. That actually should be okay. Well, actually, no, it won't, because the Ophelia will get 1, 2, and then 3. So I should wait a turn. But I think I could. I think I could have done that. And then maybe I can just pick off the tag stream now, but
I'll do
refresh.
it, as you say.
Yeah. Oh, that's less damage than I thought it was, but yeah, you do manage to
By your will.
to 2HKO him. Okay, that's cool. So hit that end turn button. The specials go up, and then once I do.
As you say.
It's less damage than I thought it was because once she moves, she shakes off the penalties and doesn't get Fimbulvator. Got it. That makes more sense.
Yes.
Refresh.
By your
Take
will.
you out. I'm wondering if I maybe should have just activated the dominance, just so she could have an easier time taking out the rest of them, particularly the Kagero, who mitigates 50% of her first attack. I maybe should have actually calculated all these numbers, but whatever. If it becomes a problem, I'll just reset it and try
You have
again.
my trust.
Let's go together.
Then just
What is
move
your
you guys,
desire?
I guess. So actually, you should see a rally because you don't deal enough damage to whatever her name is, Brunya. Okay, so yeah, this probably isn't going to be a problem, unless she somehow doesn't take out the Seer. Yeah, no, but yeah, that was the only concern. Actually, I'm not even sure that was really a concern because the Seer doesn't necessarily do a whole lot to the Altina or the Plumeria. Maybe the Altina, especially with that. Well,
Why not?
By
I'm
your
forgetting
will.
if Brunya has a
Yes.
higher defensive
With
stat
utter
total.
certainty. By your will.
Anyway,
I'll
take out the
do it.
Mirabilis, and that is that. All right, so I think it's a threatening setup. It just so happens that Brunya has the tools to dismantle it. since she has triangle advantage over Seliph and hits his res, and then she just happened to have the pulse smoke to get rid of the infantry pulse. I don't know if it would maybe be worth doing rally up somewhere. Oh wait, no, you have rally up. And then flipping you? I don't know. Maybe. Possible. Well, actually, in this particular case, that wouldn't really help all that much, I don't think, because Brynja's on a defense tile. She wouldn't have taken a whole lot from that Blazing Wind. Anyway, just some random thoughts floating around in my head. So thank you very much for sharing your map, and let's go ahead and go on to map number 3. The third map for this batch is going to be Masked Queen's Astra Anima setup, and I'm going to actually be taking a little bit of a different approach to this battle, and I'll get into why once I show you the map here. We have a cavalry-focused setup. We have Mirabilis up in the top left with Fort Def Res, Sabotage Def, Def Res Gap, Flyer Formation, Flower of Ease, Whimsical Dream, Blazing Flame. Veronica with Attack Def Solo, Low Attacks Def, Ward Cavalry, Quicken Pulse, Gate Anchor Axe, No Assist Gale Force. Duma with Warding Breath, Bold Fighter, Upheaval, Armored Boots, Spell Breath Pivot, Escutcheon. Elliewood with ARD Speed Res, Low Attack Speed, Ward Cavalry, Hardy Bearing, Blazing Durandal, No Assist and Glacies. A second Mirabilis with Steady Posture, Aerobatics, 2 stacks of Spur Def Res, Flower of Ease, Whimsical Dream, and Escutcheon. And finally Python with Shield Session, Poison Strike, Ward Cavalry, Poison Strike, Fire Sweep Bow, No Assist, and Moonbow. So this, I'm not sure how many, I've said this a few times in various comments sections, or replies to comments, where I will often say that there are some maps, particularly the more difficult ones, where I will just spend way too long just staring at them, evaluating my options, etc. This is certainly one of those maps. I actually was intending to do a traditional planning phase, like the ones you usually get for the other battles on this series, but I found it was just taking way too long. I was staring at it and just wasn't really getting anywhere. So I decided that for this one, I'm actually going to try something new and do an overview of the planning phase, just the highlights essentially. And I think you might actually get more out of this than you would out of my usual planning phase, because the usual planning phase is kind of filled with a lot of clutter, a lot of calculations and such, and of course trying to map out the AI movements, and that's valuable, knowing that those skills. But I wonder if you would get more value out of knowing the essentials of what I did versus the whole can of worms. So I'm just going to go ahead and do highlights, and you can please do let me know if you find this more or less useful in the usual planning phase. So, as you probably noticed on the way in, I decided on the Merida team for this battle. Usually when I look at an Aether Raids map, the first thing I do is try and narrow down my options based on purely composition-wise, what I think is going to be effective and what I think is not going to be effective. Claude team was out because of the Python. The Python was actually the big pain point for this map. Claude does not deal with that Python well at all. Brynja, similar story, also doesn't like the Veronica. The Micaiah could deal with the cavalry units, theoretically, but trying to get them moving safely was just not a fun time. Hit and run Gale Force would not have worked, unfortunately, and you can't. There's no real opportunity to try and block Python in. So hit and run would have had to have been the approach for a Gale Force setup. But you can't Gale Force through the Mirabilis. There's traps all around the melee range, and this one even has steady posture. And if you run away, you can get chased down pretty hard just because there's 2 3-range cavalry coming after you. Once one of them moves, this Mirabilis is going to flyer formation in, and then the other one gets the refresh from the second Mirabilis. So that was out as well. Then, unfortunately, Idun doesn't really deal very well with Eliwood, especially the Glacius variants. So that kind of left me with Marita. And fortunately, she is able to deal with this map. The first thing I thought about trying, actually, was a full-on frontal assault, where I would basically move her, get a refresh some way or another, reposition Plumeria in there, and then smite her with my bonus unit Zane onto this trap and just attack the Python. She close calls back into the support range of Plumeria, and then possibly, actually, I guess what I would have needed to do is have Lucina, Plumeria, Altina. So I could do that and have Lucina here, because with the Python gone, there's nobody threatening this space. The cavalry can't get around these trees. That was the thought, and close call helps that happen by, well, getting back out here into the support range of Plumeria and Lucina. That unfortunately fell apart at the point of trying to KO the Python, because to actually get all of this to happen, you do have to move a lot of units. That gets his shield session count up, plus there is the double Spur Def Res, he's plus Def, and then the 2 Ward Cavalry stack. So unfortunately, that was not the correct option. Then I thought about doing something pretty similar, but just stationing Marita out here, and then baiting the Python over this way with Altina, who Python cannot KO. Once he moves, he's prioritized since he doesn't die and doesn't take counterattack damage. So once he moves and attacks, he's actually out of range of the Mirabilises. So they can't get to him and have him, he can't finish Altina off with his special activation. That one, unfortunately, fell apart because Marita can't actually KO the Eliwood without Aether. And so he attacks first, and once Python is away, and actually I guess even if he wasn't over this way, then this Mirabilis could still warp to this space. Mirabilis over here warps flyer formations over to the Eliwood to refresh, and that applies the Whimsical Dream penalty, and then once she's got a penalty on her, there's now 2 Flower of Ease stacks, which unfortunately meant that Veronica could not come down and attack. The idea was that to leave a space open so this Mirabilis here, who does have enough attack to deal at least 5 damage to Marita, would be forced to attack, but unfortunately once Eliwood does his thing, there's now a ward stack in play, plus the Whimsical Dream and 2 stacks of Flower of Ease made it so that Marita actually was unable to KO the Veronica, meaning that this Mirabilis won't attack, she will refresh, and then the Cavs get to the back line, and then bad things happen. So finally, what I ended up settling on was actually letting Marita take an attack from Python. She doesn't really take damage from it. In fact, all she takes is the double poison strike. And the saving grace here is the fact that neither of these are incredibly strong blue cavalry units, who might have posed a bit of an issue to this strategy. But as it is, actually, I guess technically, wait, no, it doesn't really even matter, does it? No, it doesn't, because once Python attacks her, and then I would have Altina either here or here, or I will have Altina either here or here, I guess. So once he gets refreshed, actually it's going to be you, isn't it? Because you have flyer formation. He will move over and attack Altina, preferring to go after her instead of Marita. And then, once one of these 2 cavalry units move, this Mirabilis, thank you, tongue, has aerobatics. Same situation, she has enough attack to deal at least 5 damage to Marita, so instead of refreshing, she will attack. So that, so even, actually, I guess even if this had been one of these had been a powerful blue cavalry, it wouldn't have even really mattered, because they're not getting a refresh anyway. So let me go ahead and put that plan into action, kind of show the fruits of my labor, I guess. So, essentially what I did was, I can kick things off by breaking the fountain.
Understood.
Park Marita here, Lucina
You
goes
have my
obviously
trust.
behind her. And then Altina goes
I'll do
here,
it.
kind of out of the way, and Plumera just breaks this structure. So, what ends up happening is obviously Python deals his 20 poison strike damage, gets a refresh out of the Mirabilis. He goes after Altina, full charges her twin blades, and as expected, Marita is able to take out the other Mirabilis when she warps down to attack. Now let me see here.
With utter
You
certainty.
should be, yeah, Altina can shred Python. I don't think with the twin blades active, and then of course he activated her brazen attack res, plus she has triangle advantage, etc., etc. He has no ward stacks, blah blah blah. And I guess his shield session was
Why
fresh.
not?
You have
So then I
my
need to get him
trust.
out, get Altina out rather.
Here.
And then what I actually discovered was this is definitely a KO since she will, I mean she loses
count
the once she shakes the penalty. I guess the defense she kind of makes up for not having. Oh, actually, this isn't even the right Mirabilis.
On your order. Your
Oops.
orders.
Basically, I just did this, and then that forces attacks out of Eliwood and Veronica. Unfortunately, this Eliwood here survives on 1 HP, but the Mirabilis does not have Wings of Mercy, and even if she did, the Eliwood couldn't really do anything threatening with it because he can't wrap around to the back line.
You can count on
And
me.
he can't defeat Marita, especially without his Glacier since it got pole smoked away. And so to finish things off, I used Close Call to get Marita into a favorable position there, and then just
I'll do
do a quick
it.
smite operation, refresh, break the
Consider it
Amphore, and then basically just watched Marita finish the job. I really find that Bold Fighter escutcheon interesting. I think I'm wondering actually if that's helpful at all against comps that run Naga, since that escutcheon could quite possibly save him from being OHKO'd by effective damage. Anyway, that was my eventual approach plan. You don't want to know how long it took me to come up with that. You trust me, you really don't. And yeah, this map is absolutely devastating. I honestly wouldn't change a thing about it. It's perfectly threatening as it is. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's actually the last one for this batch. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of AR Mock Battles. I would like to extend a huge thank you once again to all of the volunteers. That third map was a real killer. Please do let me know what you thought about highlights of planning time instead of full-on planning time in the comments. So that's all I've got for you this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.